All right. We are back with Pantlaza, Sun Favored. It's a 5 minute 4/4 dinosaur, and whenever it or any other dinosaur enters a battlefield, you discover X, where X is that creature's toughness. So, we play a bunch of dinosaurs to discover. You can't chain discovers, so you can't like go into this into something else that's a dinosaur into something else, and because it only happens once a turn. It's basically Cascade. It's quite literally just Cascade. Um, so with that being said, we're running a whole bunch of dinosaurs and other things that are extremely powerful that are not dinosaurs, like 1 mana Minidorks, Esper Sentinel, Voice of Resurgence. I kind of like. Minion of the Mighty is kind of neat here. I think it isn't too difficult when I have 43 creatures in this deck, so quite a bit, although not all of them are massive, to maybe get this to trigger sometimes, which seems pretty cool if I want to cast Zatalpa or something. Zatalpa's just in here because I really like the card, and I'm sure sometimes it will win just because it's indestructible and they can't deal with it, but for the most part, I don't expect this to be better than, like, Mog, right? But it is a dinosaur. It does discover its toughness, right? Yes, so it discovers 8, which is pretty cool. Um, Other notable cards in here are there's no heroic intervention because you don't really want to discover into heroic intervention, right? But I do have like Selfless Spirit, Boromir, uh, not Radiant Destiny, Unbreakable Formation. I think that's still kind of fine. They all at least like do things without just discovering. You just never want to discover into anything that you can't immediately cast or use. It's just a terrible thing to do. So you don't want to be there. Lizard Blade seems pretty cool, right? Just giving something like Galta Double Strike, the fact that this sticks around kind of forever is pretty cool, right? It's just an equipment. Definitely better than an Aura in that instance, right? I've never played the card before, so seems like a spot to be in. Where else? What else? Anything else spicy? I like Elder Gargaroth no matter what's going on. If it's a green deck, I think this is just something. It's just like there are plenty of non dinosaur cards that are still fine to just play as a card, or you can, still discover into them. The what is it? You can play the companion, the green white one, because it has the dinosaur tribal. So if you want to make your deck specifically just have dinosaurs, cats, beasts, elementals, and there's another one. It's like the most random assortment of 5 creature types. You could make that a thing, but I don't think the companion is really good just as is. I don't know if an Anthem effect on like a 3/2 that essentially costs 6 mana is not. It's not really that great, but you can do it. You could just put it in the deck, but again, it's just a 3/2 for 3 at that point, and then it's like an Anthem. I just don't think it's that great. Um, for anyone who's curious, I noticed this was hard to find in Magic Arena for me, like the card specifically, because I couldn't filter through Ixalan, and I was looking at Ixalan cards. I couldn't find this. So if you want to find, I think there's 5 cards from this set. You have to do set LCC because that's the code number for this set. Just if anyone was curious, I was wondering why I could never see this commander in my list when I filtered by Ixalan. It's because it's one of like 4 that's in its own thing. This is how I found it. I think you could just find it if you had no filter and then just filtered by cards you don't own. But if anyone's curious, I think that's about it. I think it's pretty straightforward. Obviously, got a Tali in here. Some of these cards I've never played before because, well, they're just generic dinosaurs that aren't really that great without like the Discover tacked on, get an extra spell cascade style thing going with them. But I don't know. It seems cool. I like it. It's just like play a bunch of dinosaurs and then your opponent can't deal with all of them, right? And that seems pretty cool. One last card. This one. With this, we now have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not this one, 7. Yeah, there are 7. So if you're in white and green, you have this one. And if you're in dinosaurs, you have this one. So this is probably as many as you can have on one, which is awesome, right? And then obviously Ragavan, which I now have crafted. I have entered the dark side. And I think that's about it. I was just criticizing Anthem effects, but I do have this in here because it doesn't die like the stat stick companion would, and it also can give vigilance pretty reliably because the city's blessing is not too difficult to have when the vast majority of my deck are permanents in the form of lands and creatures. So, yep, that's it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's see how this works. Let's see what happens. It's hard to say no to this. But, yeah, I think my colors are a little askew. We are against Monogreen, which is a little sketchy. It's a little sketchy. Okay. The O'Hare Casnum. I like Ogre more. Ogre sounds better. I'm going to say Ogre forever. Oh yeah, we also get to play this card. I guess. Alright, well, opponent got it. I didn't. I mulliganed mine away. Well, they're mono green, so this is a little different. Let's get a mountain. And then reveal Thick Boy. Get a Plains. Both our commanders cost 5. I think there's going to be a problem. Oh, come on. No. It's not what I wanted to see. It's not what I wanted to see at all. Yeah, that was actually bad. I did not want to see that, specifically. But, of course. Why not? Trading with Elder Gargaroth feels really stupid, so I don't think I'm going to. Okay, I guess I'll take it. But yeah, this is problematic. Actually, it's extremely problematic. I just don't have any way to stop that from hitting me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can play this next turn. They are mono green. It's not really that much removal. Selvala is a card I've never owned. I do see it all over the place for obvious reasons. Let's see, did I lose instantly? No. Lucky me. Sure. Hey, I mean, that's kind of cool, I guess. It's not really the most exciting thing, but I can now safely swing with everything. And I guess I just kill Vorinclex so they can't flip it, because the O'Hare could struggle to ever attack again. And then obviously dealing with that, it makes sense to me. And this is why Heroic Intervention is not as exciting in your deck, because imagine I just discovered into it. My attack would probably look a little different. Okay, my opponent just straight up took it. That's kind of surprising. I mean, this doesn't have trample, right? This doesn't have trample either, huh? Unless I'm tripping. I don't know if I would have taken that, to be completely honest with you. I'm really not sure I would have done that. Okay, I'd rather have this untapped than just play Lenorails for no reason. Okay. Does the token have reach? Actually, the token doesn't matter. It's only a 6/6. It's not too big of a deal. Could they have played a land first? I'm not sure. But yeah, once you stonewall the O'Hare, it gets a lot harder. Oh, we get to play Zatalpa. This is the first game. Oh, I get to play it. Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. What do we get? We got lost. Alright. I guess I get rid of the... No, let's just get rid of this token. Make it difficult to block the... Turresque. Alright, Dinosaur. And then... Swingy Wingy. With, I guess, just this... Killing... You. This could be... This is the scariest thing, in my opinion. I don't want that to be a thing. And they don't have enough power to trade. So... Oh, actually, they do. They actually do have enough. Okay. If I were them, I might have just traded everything just to kill this. Because now you can't do that. Again, I don't see a reason to really play this. But now they have to deal with Zatalpa. They're mono green, so it's like Kenris transformation, and that's really about it. They can't make another Renin 7 token to block with Reach. Okay, well, that's a little late to the party. I guess they could make a bunch of food. Oh, okay, that's all they had in hand. They could make food and stay alive, I guess. But this isn't really getting my opponent anywhere. Not really. Pawns, yeah. Like, they're just falling farther and farther behind. I could play it safe and just kill Renin 7, but that doesn't really do anything. Like, what does it even do? It just pluses for lands next turn, and then eventually makes another token that also won't really matter. But, I don't know. It is a 2-turn clock if I go in the air right now. But I am kind of wishy-washy about it. I guess I can see what I draw here first. I guess it paid off that I actually did not cast the Llanowar Elves, because I just drew a card off it later. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna... Alright, yeah, alright. My opponent's done anyways, but I was going to kill Renin 7 because it's... Like, sure, it's a 2-turn clock, but, like, next turn they could just make a token that is massive with all the lands, right? And that could be maybe annoying. Maybe I can't swing with this anymore, or this, and it could be weird, but nice. Yeah, they kind of missed on the first hit, which we sort of needed to have happen. And then from there we could stonewall this and not worry about it anymore. Which is the struggling part of playing this, is when your opponent's larger than this, you almost instantly lose. It's hard to come out of that. Unless you give it, like, flying or, like, double its power or some random card. I don't know. Alright, this is the new one, right? This commander I didn't have a lot of respect for. Let's see what my opponent cooked up. Always like it. Maybe someone else can show me how it's done, but I wasn't too big on this commander. Actually, it's one of the ones I really don't like. It's very similar to this one, except this one is a lot more upfront. Right? Yeah, they're just different. Alright, maybe I should have led with this so I don't mess anything up. Arcane Signet. I'm not running that. I probably should run this over Thunderherd Migration, to be honest. Okay, at least we completely ignored my opponent's Lightning Bolt, which is really nice. Yeah, I think I'll get Arcane Signet in my deck instead of Thunderherd Migration. I think that makes sense. Thunderherd, like, sometimes costs 3, right? And only taps for 1 color. Yeah, I should just do that. Which is kind of depressing, but it is what it is. Alright, so far my opponent's not doing anything with their commander in any way, which is kind of strange. I will use the Goose Food. Oh, it's so late. No! Oh, where were you, like, earlier? Where were you when I needed things? Surely my opponent has more non-creature things that they can't pay 1 for. Yeah, that would have been good way earlier in this game, by, like, a wide margin. Huh. Okay. That's... yeah. Sure. Yep, like I said, this is just completely useless. You've been told Signet's a good card? Yeah. Alright, we're down to 4 mana, right? Because the Goose is down for a turn. I don't really see anything at all to Beseiju. I could Beseiju Huatli as an enchantment, but I just don't. The only scary part is, like, the 3. So maybe it makes sense. I drew the migration. Okay, so we're just doing this. Can I avoid revealing Atali? I don't think I should. Does it matter? Let's see. Make a food. Come on, opponent. You can do it. And then I just cast this without revealing a dinosaur. It might as well. Might as well. Yeah, this should definitely be a arcane signet, I think. Do I have an attack here? No, I don't want to trade with just their thing. I mean, it's not a bad prospect, but it's not a great one. Like, I could recast this, but at this point I can cast Atali, and I'm just fine doing that instead. I mean, I could just play Huatli in my deck. It does make dinosaurs. It does tutor for a dinosaur. It's all relevant. Like, it's not a bad idea. See, like, I don't... Alright, I'm just going to cast this off the Goose. The Beseiju might want to blow this up before they get to the third part of it. I think that makes sense. Yeah, the green one does say dinosaur. Okay, we got a dinosaur of my opponent's. That's kind of funny. Triggers once each turn, so I say no, and then I say yes to the second trigger, which has way more toughness into the Discover. Yeah, there we go. Alright, got the same card I would have anyways, but that's fine. Alright. I'm ahead, but again, if they get to tutor for any dinosaur, it could be a problem. And they can pretty swiftly get to that again. Now, Atali as a massive indestructible 11/11 infect is pretty cool. It's basically Blightsteel Colossus. Opponent also already had all the mana in the world, so this mana dork chapter doesn't really matter to me. Unless, I don't know, they needed, what, 3 additional mana to cast something like Ulamog, I guess? Sure. Savage Stomp. It gets a counter. I don't really like killing this, because I get to recast it and it comes with a Discover. So I'm not a big fan of that happening right now. I don't think I would do that. I don't think that's what I would do. Alright, so no matter what I do this turn, this has to happen. So I will do it. Alright, it was good enough for my opponent to give up. So it was right to do that then. Yeah, it just slows them down a lot. Like, they can get back to this, but they have to get back to it. And it takes them quite a while, and at that point, they're stuck in top deck mode. And Atali would have flipped by then, swinging for, again, 11 trample, and then I have, like, Ronus coming down to make it worse, but... Yeah, and we have Indestructible here, too. Yeah, this is just very difficult to come out of. I'm not even sure what dinosaur my opponent would get here that I even care about. Probably they just get a blind Atali. I think this is the best dinosaur in the game. I don't know what else you could get. They could, I guess, get Zatalpa if they had it, which would be kind of weird. But let's say they had Zatalpa. Because it's a stone wall blocker. It has 8 toughness, which means this only gets in for 3. I can see that as a thing. But yeah, I don't know what the target dinosaur is. But it's certainly the best thing my opponent had access to. So I might as well stop it. Okay, yeah. So we're going to take out Thunderherd Migration because, yeah, it's like another Rampant Growth. We have 2 now, right? We got Into the North and maybe Glimpse the Core. Yep, that's another one. And this was kind of like the third one, but you have to have a dinosaur, and it only taps for 1 color, whereas Arcane Signet not only has haste, because it comes in untapped, it taps for all 3 colors, which is just better in every way, so that should have been in here. Okay, so you flicker things every second spell. This is a 2/3 Sag. I was about to say we might get some value out of our Itzquinth. Itzquiskerberter. Alright, there's no mana ramp, so it's kind of impossible to play this. Again, no ramp, probably impossible to keep this. I have ramp. I'm on the play with Ragavan. It demands specific things. Can put away Zatalpa. Alright, this is as good as it's going to get, I think. I really want to hit them. Yeah, bounce tribal. Oh, this costs 4. Excuse me, I thought it cost 2. Okay, that's a lot different. That is a lot different. Alright, nice. Nice! See? This is why Ragavan is stupid. This is why Ragavan is a dumb card. No one wants to get hit by Ragavan. It literally has player death touch if you play it turn 1. It's like almost the same, if not slightly worse than, say, Llanowar Elves, right? Because Llanowar Elves is something pretty solid. I mean, obviously I could steal spells. I could steal spells from my opponent. But the treasures are not like permanent like a Menadork would be. But this can hit more than once and then start to, you know, run away with just treasure. Ragavan is just dumb. It's just stupid. Like, I literally played a tier 1 or tier S strategy turn 1 against my opponent who's not playing in the tier 1 bracket, right? Because Ragavan is a tier 1 card, and when you have it turn 1, you're essentially playing the tier 1 strategy. It's just really stupid. I think it should be banned. I really do. It's just a very stupid card. It just leads to, like, non-games. Like, it would have been cool to see what my opponent's deck was, because I've never seen that commander. Now, it's probably going to be something very similar to Yorion, right? It's not going to blow my mind that much, or blue-white flicker stuff. But it would have been cool to see what that commander did, and I just had a non-game. Okay, I don't have turn 1 red, and I'm also not on the play anyways, so the Ragavan's not really stupid busted, but I'll keep it still. Maybe it trades with Samwise, who knows? Kind of doubt it, but I mean, it could, I guess. Interesting. Nope, okay. Guess we're dealing with that card now. Mountain? Yeah. Well, at least we stopped them from playing Samwise early, I guess. This only copying food tokens is not really that exciting. Look at that, Ragavan shutting down a 4/4. So ridiculous. Okay, so I kind of want to play this because it can actually swing. Yeah, we're going to play this. Because this can do stuff currently, whereas this doesn't really have much going for it as it stands. I think that's fine. Like, if I swing, my opponent doesn't really want to double block with anything. What the hell? Okay. Interesting list so far. Incredibly easy for Mondrak to be indestructible. Let's lead with this, so if Elder Gargaroth dies in combat... Actually, hold on. Double target... Okay, so I can swing and they can't really kill it because I can threaten to double its stuff here. Do I make a 3/3 or do I draw? I think I draw to keep up with my opponent. 3/3 doesn't feel super useful. Okay, I'm not going to swing for 12. Okay, let's do this. Alright, okay. So with this and the Nexus, I can do 12/12 double strike trample. That is not the best of turns for my opponent. But yeah, we're seeing the issue with like copying your food tokens. Unless you use them, there's not much going on. My opponent is currently not really using them. Oh, I mean, I guess they are now, but it's a little slow. But that's kind of cool, I guess. I kind of like that, sure. Do they have enough to survive an attack? I think they do. 5. Yeah, they do. Okay, now they don't. Now they just killed themselves. Opponent just committed Sudoku there. That's 12 double strike trample. I don't think my opponent could have tapped all their creatures just there. I think that just killed them. Yep. That completely annihilated them. Maybe they didn't realize it had trample or something? Or maybe they just didn't feel like continuing the game because they would have to basically chump block with... let's see, they're at -9? No, there's no way. None of this hand works. Oh, this doesn't work either. Oh, this doesn't really... What? I'm sorry, what? Oh, okay. Sure. I mean, maybe I can outpace this. That was a very good draw for me. Yeah, discovers 4 for 5, yeah. It's like a Maelstrom Wanderer. A baby Maelstrom Wanderer. Oh boy, my opponent didn't cast anything. I wonder what they have. I don't particularly care, do I? No, I don't really care. Alright, well, this is going to probably be either a non-game or a game. One has a turn 2 Phyrexian Arena. That's just drawing a bajillion cards. I don't know if I'm supposed to besage you this 6 cents. I really don't think I'm supposed to besage you that. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Because I'll give them mana, which is very devastating. So, I can't afford to give them mana. Maybe I can now, but also maybe it doesn't matter at this point. Yeah, I don't know. Too much early interaction. This is power 1 or less. Okay. Alright, well, I mean, I have a 4/4 double strike. Almost a 12/12 double strike coming. I don't know how I feel about that one. I don't think that's what I would do. In any way. I probably will trade with the halfling, because it is like a mana dork. I'll just trade with it. That is pretty relevant. It also is one of their things that draws repeated cards. This turns into a Geist of Saint Traft, right? Yeah. I guess they're doing this again. I do not have a forest. Wow. I guess that's the only card I couldn't ever cast, huh? Wow, that was actually really bad. I think it's the only card in my deck I can't cast. That's horrible. Oh, not much I can do about it now. Skulk is what now? It's like a weird... Except... Can't be like so creatures flying or reach. Okay. There were a lot of bad discovers, though. There were a lot of bad things I could discover. So that wasn't really that terrible. But, like, it's obviously still terrible. It's obviously still not what you ever want to see. I guess I cast it. It looks like they have a counterspell, so it is what it is. No, they don't have a counterspell. I don't know if Gulta's good enough, though. We're kind of low, and we can't block, and I don't know. Okay, that was a lot better. That was a lot better. Let's go get an actual forest. How does this read? Whenever you attack. Okay. So we get to attack with greatest power. So I can swing like this and get a 4/4. That seems fine. It's better than the tokens, at least. Till, like, maybe next turn. And I'm not immediately dead, either. I could have explored maybe pre-combat, but I didn't. Let us do white, I guess. Yeah, let's do white. And then let's pass. I can exile cards out of the graveyard if they have like a Snapcaster Mage or something weird. This deck doesn't run any board wipes, but I guess I am threatening essentially lethal unless my opponent has something very specific here. Don't know what it could be. Wait, did I mess up? Oh, I guess I could have blocked it. I messed up. I could have blocked that. For some reason I thought I couldn't. But I misread Skulk. That's my bad. Yeah, I absolutely should have blocked that there. That would have been quite useful, but we'll see. We'll see how useful. I don't know if firing up the layer of the Hydra is going to get me anywhere, but who knows. Alright, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. My opponent, like, had full control of the game early, and then they just didn't have a counterspell for Ghalta, and then Ghalta found Ghalta. And then we made 4/4s. And then next turn we get another 12/12 on attack, right? Because we're swinging with a 12/12. So we're swinging with a whole bunch. Yeah, nice. But obviously I should have blocked. This would have been just out of the game completely, which would have even put my opponent farther back. They already played Cyclonic Rift, and I don't know if they're going to play River's Rebuke or anything like that in a deck like this, but wow, surprising I won that. Surprising I won that playing in the way I did, too. Like, I just straight up did not block. Just full stop didn't block it. Moving on. Okay, so we get this next turn, and then I don't really know. Again, Aragorn is basically like Smooth Brain Shotgun. That's you just play this and then Shotgun Blast your opponent for like 40. Catilda, sure. Alright, this one? This has to be power 5 or greater and it untaps, so I guess I'll do this. And then I'll do this. Oh, this is only creature spells. Alright, never mind. Not as exciting as a, Oh, wait, no, I wanted to use it to make a food. Oh, no, I'm dumb. It's fine. It's fine. I can cast everything anyways still. I don't need the food token, but guess we're just going with the 3 damage instead, huh? We get an attack with O'Hare here. Or Caslim. I'm just going to call him Caslim. The deepest girth. About to deep girth our opponent. It's actually pretty nice. Hopefully we don't whiff. So far we've... Okay, nice. Opponent just didn't want to get hit by what is essentially the green Ragavan. Really nice. We just basically played this commander this game. That's all we did. But, hey, yeah, it's just... Yeah, look at that. Green Ragavan. Okay, this is a hand I'm going to keep because this could be a minion. Excuse me, this could be a minion hand. It's actually like a guarantee minion hand with Ronus. Maybe my opponent scoops instantly because they think this is Ragavan. Yes? Oh. You have to pay 2 for this, right? Oh, that's so ugly. Oh, that's so ugly. Like, imagine this just did it for free, and now it doesn't. That is so ugly, yeah. If I could have killed this Llanowar Elves, I think we would have been in a undescribably better position, but we didn't. Oh, what? Opponent? What are you doing? Calm down. Calm down there, buddy. Calm yourself. Okay, so if everything works, we get a minion trigger, which I have never had in my life. Even in, like, the historic scam build. They did not kill Minion of the Mighty just now, which is absolutely insane to me. So, maybe the stars are aligning and I was destined to do this. For I am about to do it. Wait a minute. Wait, this has to be 4 or greater. 4 or greater. So, that doesn't work. I am not destined for anything. 1, 2, 3. Alright, I'm destined for crippling failure. Yep, alright. I got nothing. I see why my opponent killed that now. Because it cost 6 mana to do the thing instead. Okay, so I have my opponent's commander in my hand. Does that make sense? Do I just swing and then, like... Okay. Let's just do this. Oh. Am I dumb? Chad, am I just like profoundly stupid? Minion of the Mighty is Dinosaurs only. Am I actually just, like, the dumbest person to have ever lived? I cannot believe I didn't know that. Alright, I'm deeply embarrassed. I'm at a loss for words right now. That Minion is only dragons and not dinosaurs. That is holistically embarrassing. Wow, I feel so depressed now. Oh, I'm so sad. This overwhelming feeling of disaster has just overcame me that I had just done that. Alright, well, at least I found out before I didn't. What the... What? Okay. Okay. Was not expecting that. Yeah, at least Gishath isn't really doing much. Miss Ronis is pretty solid right now. Might as well block the whole thing. Yeah, this is not looking too good right now. But it could be worse. By a lot. Okay, that's really good. That's also really good. We have sort of a free attack, kind of, because we get a 5/5. No, because the 5/5 attacks, actually. What am I talking about? Yeah, the 5/5 swings itself, so it's not like the token stays as a blocker. But I do have the largest creature in play, so we're definitely ahead because of that. I do not die to an Alpha Strike. My opponent does it anyways, so here, 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 and then we just take 3. Yeah, this is an attack is for blockers kind of swing, and I don't think it pans out too ideally for my opponent. Yeah, that wasn't too ideal for them. Actually, they're just straight up dead. Nice. I mean, I messed up the Minion of the Mighty, but yeah, my opponent did the old attacking is for blockers kind of thing, which makes sense. I could mess it up, but I it was pretty... The blocks were pretty obvious, right? It only took me like 2 seconds to find them. But yeah, my opponent just fell behind once this died. This got an insane amount of value too, but it just didn't end up mattering because of all this. Alright. I was not going to talk about that Minion of the Mighty. Just not going to do that. Okay, so I'm taking out Minion of the Mighty because it's only dragons and not dinosaurs. I'm an idiot. Whoops. So this just straight up doesn't work. I think this one's just more solid. Yeah, it's just got tighter abilities and it costs 3. Yeah, we're just going to add Domri. We're going to add Domri instead. But creature-based strategies are far and away the most popular thing. So if your creatures are bigger than your opponents and they're not running board wipes in the average deck, then you're not upset. Okay, I'm going to swing for ones. For one here, instead of not doing that. Alright, turn 3 commander, surely. No removal. Alright, I'll take it. Let me just make sure. Yeah. Voice of Resurgence. Hey, don't hate it. Monastery Mentor. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 7. Alright. Oh, commune? Ugh. Ugh. Fine. Oh, there's no way you're blocking with Minister. Yeah, there's no way. No way on earth you're blocking with Monastery Mentor. Doesn't make any sense. Yashath has haste. This is pretty good. Pretty good. We're gonna need some kind of, I don't even know here. That is not it. That is not what you needed. Again, I don't think they're blocking with the Monastery Mentor. Oh, wait, they can't swing anyways because of this. But if this wasn't here, I think they would swing. Because you're just, like, this is like the best card ever. You don't actually really see it that much either. Okay, so you... Actually, you know what? I'm going to lead with this and see what I discover into. Because maybe I play this. Right? Maybe that's what I play. Okay, now I kind of want to play it a little bit less. Alright, we'll just play this then. That's fine. On the old dinos. And we swing. But what do we swing with? Do we swing with Voice of Resurgence? I think I do, because if it dies, it brings a giant token with it. And that is totally fine. Okay. Bitter Blossom is 1 life a turn, too, so like they have to kill me in 9 turns here. Or gain life. They are black and white, but... So far, they haven't really done that. Alright, they just get a land. That's fine. This makes all of your tokens 4/4s. Alright, so a bit spooky, but it doesn't do anything this turn. And yeah, they're just dead now. There's not much they can do to survive all of this. Way too much. Maybe they can. I don't know. We'll find out. I won't swing with the Selfless Spirit, though. Okay. If I swung with the Selfless Spirit, it was lethal. Whoops. Or they would have had to have blocked differently. They would have had to block differently, not necessarily lethal. But, yeah, there's not enough 4/4s in the world to stay alive anyways. Like, they just can't do anything. They have to kill their own Bitter Blossom or gain life as well. So, I guess Farewell. If they had Farewell, they could have done it. They could have done it if they had Farewell. But it looks like they don't. So, I mean, I could get into trouble swinging because they have 8 points of, like, lifelink right there. Could get into trouble. But, you know what? I'm feeling spicy. I'm just gonna do it. I want to swing. I want to swing with a cool-looking board like this. But 8 points of blocking is not going to save them. Alright, Pono just takes it. That's fair. Oh, only first strike hits him? No, I wanted all these cool triggers. It's fine. But yeah, the Bitter Blossom helped me out a lot there. Like, they were just like a turn too slow, kind of. But even still, this is an excellent two cards. Excellent two cards to have at the same time, but this is probably a little too slow. Well, they didn't play any ramp other than a Dark Ritual, which didn't really help them. But yeah, these getting lifelink would have been useful. But again, the Bitter Blossom did help me out a bit. But I think I did miss lethal last turn by not swinging with this. But I believe their blocks could have looked different, and they might not have died anyways, so I'm not sure. But either way, worked out. Okay, I really liked this. I was so wrong about that Mentor, the whatever, the red thing. But other than that card, I really like this. Like, you just sort of play cards. You just play creatures. Play the green, you know, the glowing card in your hand, and then you win, right? Or you don't, and that's it. It is pretty easy to overwhelm people with a, repeated Discover. Even if the Discover isn't that powerful, you're still just getting card advantage, and then they still have to deal with what you've played before you even start to consider the card advantage, right? So if there's no hard sweeper, or a ton of like back and forth perfect interaction from your opponent, like early removal, early counterspell, early like a second removal or something to keep you locked down, you will just sort of run away with the game. You don't even need a boatload of dinosaurs, right? This comes with its own Discover, and there's just enough dinosaurs to discover anyways. Even if it was like 1 out of every 5 cards in your deck is a dinosaur, that's more than enough. And once you get to that point, you probably don't even really need stuff like this. It only mattered, actually it's funny, this and the Nexus were in the same game, and then I never saw them again. But these together is obviously insane. But the double strike on something is fine. Even if it doesn't have trample, it's still kind of fine. It pseudo turns your like trades in combat into removal, right? That's kind of why I like the first. Even if this was just first strike, but double strike is obviously better. Just to win combat more, but you might not even need to do that because you are essentially playing the biggest things in the in the colors, right? It's just 4 mana 5/4. 5 mana 7/7. Usually a 2 mana 12/12. You're just playing big stuff, and if your opponent's not dealing with it, it's going to kill them very quickly. The protection spells are also very solid. You could probably even run to nope, we just talked about that. You don't want to run Teferi's Protection. You don't want to run Heroic Intervention, because you never ever want to hit them off of this. It's not like they're totally useless. It's just you don't want to discover into something that is completely dead. I did randomly discover into a Utopia Sprawl, and I think within that paradigm, as I'm looking now, I think this is the only card I didn't have a forest in play. This is the only card I couldn't use. It's really funny. But even still, right? Hitting ramp is fine, because then you use that ramp to hit even larger dinosaurs later, and that was totally fine. I had Inferno Titan in here for like 0.2 seconds, but I ended up taking it out because it felt like I had enough big stuff anyways. And all of this big stuff is probably good enough, and I don't really need to pivot from the dinosaur strategy, right? Like, it's arguable that Inferno Titan is probably better than Atali, but if you have ways to kind of give Atali haste, or you can discover 6 with it, it starts to balance out, right? But, if you could give Inferno Titan haste, like Inferno Titan is just pretty damn good. So I can see that as actually something I wanted to stick in here, find a spot for. But again, want a moderate amount of dinosaurs. Like, this card is really weird, but it is one of the earlier dinosaurs that I don't hate. It is only Discover 3, right? It's toughness. I keep thinking it's power, but it's toughness, right? Yeah, so it's Discover 3, not exciting. It could give something pseudo unblockable. You get to swing for the turn. It sort of has pseudo unblockable, right? Menace. It's not that bad. But this could probably be something different. Even I wasn't running any explosive vegetation style cards, right? And there's a bunch of those on 4 you could be running, which obviously helps you get to these much faster. Um, and the explosive veggies are pretty solid to discover into, especially with all the 4 toughness things. Discover 4 means you get to cast 4-mana spells. So if 4 is the sweet spot, you could pivot away from some of this and change it around a little bit more. So we're more reliably hitting 4s, and those 4s are going to be stronger than, like, you know, the ones in the 2s and the 3s. But even still, it wasn't that bad, right? It wasn't that bad. But if we were going to do that, it would probably be taking out some of this. Maybe the 5s. Actually, some of these 5s are, like, I like the green 5s, but the other 3 are not too exciting. Like, this is a dinosaur, but I don't know. The haste is cool too. But, like, it's probably one of the weaker dinosaurs next to this one. So again, we could tweak around the top end, the middle end rather, the middle, and have a little bit better of a time, maybe. Esper Sentinel never actually did anything, but that's not to say it's a bad card. It just never happens to do anything. Ragavan soloed somebody because it's stupid and shouldn't exist. The parked indestructible cards were just insane, right? Like, this is just a really, really, really good card. I'm surprised this doesn't cost mana to activate. Actually, it's disgusting in some matchups. Your opponent can't sweep the board and they lose because of that. Hitting removal off of Discover felt fine. I think there was always something to target with it, right? You could probably reassess the removal, maybe have a little bit more, but again, you're playing things much larger than your opponent, so it's up to them to sort of deal with the combat math, and you can sort of skip over that. You're just like vomiting too much power in play, and then the removal doesn't matter anyways. But yeah, it was a little bit harder to get the City's Blessing than I thought, so I like this a lot less, right? The Vigilance is super useful, but if I can't reliably get the City's Blessing, I don't know how I feel about this. Again, just something we might be able to take out for the swash of explosive vegetations to make it feel a little bit smoother in the top end ramp, but just never really felt like I really needed that. All of these did feel somewhat castable after I started going off with this anyways, so I don't know. But I really like this commander. Surprised I did. Dinosaur Tribal did not feel like something that would be successful, but hey, it actually is pretty solid. So let me know what you thought about this list. If you have ideas of your own on this commander, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.